Here's another edition of the Tri-State Business Report on Newstalk 103.7 FM. Introduce you to the folks that are making it work every single day. And if you would like to be on the show, you can reach out to your neighborhood Chamber of Commerce. And that's in Greencastle or Washington County, Chambersburg, and our friends at the Greater Waynesboro Chamber of Commerce who have brought us our guest here, which we're going to introduce you in just a couple of seconds. You can also send us a note, and if the stars align, you tell us a little bit about your business, and if we make some sense to talk about you on the radio, we will do just that. And the first one's on us. So visit newstalk1037fm.com. There's a place in which to ship us off an email and tell us a bit about yourself. Like we know Rick Bibbee, who's back at the microphones again here, and another project that I'm interested in sharing with you, and something that you probably want to know a lot more about out of a business called Interludes with Impact. Rick, nice to see you.
Hi, Patrick.
Thanks for coming in and seeing us and telling us about this. And I'm going to let you start first because I got a million questions about artists and costs, but bring me into your heart of hearts and Interludes with Impact, please.
Okay. Well, I've been in the area a long time putting on fundraisers for different organizations over the years. So, but I've done a lot of that under another hat. Basically, I always tell people I wear many hats, and this hat here is my own company, my own sole proprietorship that I have, Interludes with Impact. So I'm the owner, I'm the founder, I'm the guy that sets up the stage and runs the sound and does all that to be able to use music to do good with. The Interludes with Impact essentially is music for good. If you know the Meatloaf song, I do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Yeah.
There's a lyric in there where the female lyricist sings back to him and says, "It was a brief interlude on a midsummer's night fling."
Okay.
That's where Interludes comes from. The with impact is, well, again, music for good. So it's a universal language, helps you remember your best days, forget your worst days. And I'm trying to do my very best to use music to help out in the community and do good, positive things with it for worthy causes. You know, I always used to say for charity, but sometimes it's not the charity. The worthy cause may not be a 501c3, but they may be an organization or a person that needs some help. And this allows me to have the flexibility on my own to make the decisions where when I did fundraisers under the other hat, I had limitations and constraints and doing how many years I'd have to wait before I could do a fundraiser. Now I can do whatever, whenever, however that I want on my own choosing.
So a concert that's coming up, the first one you're going to be showcasing is in the July time period, right?
Yep. In July, I've been doing what's called the Friday Night Music Fest. This will be year number 6 of the Friday Night Music Fest. And I've done 3 shows in a year. I've done 6 shows in a year. I've settled on 3. And I'll be using July 4th, July 11th, July 25th would be the 3 shows I do this year. And it'll be in a big empty field. Call it Ringgold Field. It's in Ringgold, Maryland, across from Misty Meadows Ice Cream Shop, owned by the Ringgold Church of Christ. I went in there with my mobile stage, have a 16-foot box truck with a stage that folds down right off the side of it, and said I'd like to be able to have a place to set this up at to be able to do some charity concerts, basically. And they met for a few weeks, made the decision that it aligned with what they were trying to do, and said sure. And so now this is year number 6, my 3rd year in a row using that location. I'd bounced around a couple places. My first year was was on the side of a hill during the pandemic. The first year I did this, I had the singer standing on the side of the hill and sang to you sitting in your car at the bottom of the hill, and we broadcast it to the FM radio frequencies.
Okay.
And the second year we used a gazebo at the top of that hill, and the 3rd year I had a hay wagon that I borrowed from Misty Meadows Ice Cream Shop. Yeah. And then after that, I had this crazy idea to, make a stage that folded down off the truck, and went to Burger's Farm and Auto down in State Line and said, "Here's a little drawing that my daughter's kind of boyfriend made for her and gave to me, and can you build a deck and attach it to the side of a truck for me?" And they did. So now that was continued the Friday Night Music Fest. So this year we chose Tunnels for Towers. That's who we wanted to work with. Took 3 weeks of waiting for them to say it was okay to work with them. They had to check me out, validate me, vet me, and all that, and give me permission to use their logo. And so they set that up. And then when we got going in, I reached out to the second one for July 11th for Farmers and Hunters Feeding the Hungry. And that's my second fundraiser. The third one is for Smithsburg Tractor Society. So there's 3 shows there, all in July. the 4th, the 11th, and the 25th. Each of them, we'll raise money for them. I'm getting sponsors to help pay for the cost of the advertising and paying for the singers. And then after that, it's essentially a donation. I have tickets, but to buy this year for the first time, I've always said, give what your heart says and your wallet allows, and make donations at the event. For this year, trying to get a framework to count how many bodies are coming, I've set up simpletix.com to sell tickets through what they call a pay-as-you-want concept. So I'm asking for $1 minimum. But when you get there, it says you can pay what you want. So again, I use that same phrase, give what your heart says and your wallet allows. So if people want to pay more, then they can pay more for the ticket then. So
okay, you are you got a lot going on here. Let's go to sponsors first. That if people would like to sponsor part of a show or part of the program. I know there's people out there that have heard Tunnels to Towers for a lot on the radio, and that's something that they're asking for a lot of donations to. So you're a nice pass-through here, but putting on these shows doesn't come without a cost. So if I want to sponsor, how do I work that in?
I usually ask for sponsors to give me $250 for a sponsorship, and I have the ability to go right to my my marketing link, ffm.bio/IWI.
Okay, let's go slow on this one. This is important as you listen to Rick right now. FFM, Frank Mary, ffm.bio/IWI. Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
On there, there's links on there to my website. There's links on there to each of the Friday Night Music Fest, as well as the 2 Mile Music Fest I'm putting on in Hancock in August. And then there's links on there to be able to sign up to be a sponsor. I mean, there's a separate link for sponsors, ffm.bio/IWI sponsors. Just that simple. And they can sign on there and choose the show they want to sponsor at $250, or if they like, they can sponsor both of them for $500. And I'll put their logo on the back door of my mobile stage as I'm driving around. They'll get their logo shown to the communities I'm driving that truck around. So,
what's your background, Rick? How did you get to this point in your life? Refresh my memory and everybody else tuned into you.
Okay. Well, I basically sell insurance for a living to make my money. That's how I make my money. But I come from a background of fast food, Wendy's for 10 years, working for them for 10 years, moved me 14 times in 10 years, opening up brand new stores. And then I got to Florida and said, I'm a whitewater rafter. I'm not a surfer. Why am I down here? So I switched careers a little bit and got into the insurance business down there, who then gave me an opportunity to move back up here in 1991.
What's the brand you're working for?
Life insurance and annuities, and it was with Modern Woodman of America, so I was an agent for. So they brought me back up here, and so then I went out and lived that fraternal life insurance lifestyle. I didn't work for an insurance company. I lived a fraternal lifestyle. So, but with that came constraints. The insurance business, when you're trying to do different things, you have certain boundaries you can't go left and right and up and down on. So I had to, eventually, understand what those parameters were and what I thought I could do to be able to do better and do more with. And that's how I eventually evolved to having my own insurance website, woodsetter.com. And then I've evolved from that into Interludes with Impact, because during the pandemic, I was trying to advertise some of this music stuff on woodsetter.com, and Facebook kept shutting down the ads saying, oh, you got open links on your website. What do you mean? Well, I was selling dental and vision insurance, but you could click a link and go buy it with just by clicking a link. They wanted me to take down those links because I wasn't giving them no money. So when Facebook told me that, then I said, okay, let me build Interludes with Impact as a website instead of just as a name I was using. And then I've just been growing it ever since and developing a following, and got a regular group of sponsors I have that's been with me all 6 years that are helping me out make these things happen.
It's great.
And it's just evolved. Again, I jump out of the airplane and build the parachute on the way to the ground is how I always tell people I do things. So,
Rick, do you play any instruments? You play any music?
In junior high and high school, I was in band, and I played trumpet, and I played the sousaphone and marching band, and I played a bass guitar in one of the stage bands. But all I can remember about music now is Every Good Boy Does Fine and FACE. And but I had a wife and daughter that have been married since 81 too. That's she was a professional groupie, and both the daughters became professional groupies. So we've been backstage with everybody from New Kids on the Block, NSYNC, LFO, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, Fall Out Boy, August Burns Red. We've been backstage with all those, and as they're backstage fangirling, I'm sitting there going, this guy's running sound, this guy's running lights, this guy's running security. Well, hell, I can do all that.
So the geek in you.
And I evolved using my managerial skills and my sales skills, and usually when I get them sponsors, I always tell everybody I learned from insurance. It takes me 30 no's to get a yes, so I'm out there knocking on doors asking for sponsors. If it's number 25 no, I know there's a yes coming there in the next 5 or 6. So
Interludes with Impact. We've got 3 concerts coming up in July, and I like your financial model. That's awfully attractive to people that want to come out to the show. But there are other components, not only sponsorship, but there's ways in which people can grab a bite to eat. And you're certainly going to make a new friend out on this one as well. So tell me about the food and other things that you got going on.
What I do when I'm putting on the shows at the Friday Night Music Fest, I provide for the charity. I give them a tent, I give them a table, I give them a grill, I give them a freezer, I give them a generator, I give them everything they need to do to cook. All they have to do is come in with food and cook it, and then shake hands, kiss babies, and and get a chance to get the microphone in their hand, tell everybody it's in attendance about what they do and everything.
Yeah.
And we make it so it's a 1 + 1 = 3 philosophy. If I help you win, I win too. And and again, 1 + 1 = 3 says it's not what you do, it's not what I do, it's when we're able to do it together that we make the biggest impact. Now, Tunnels to Towers won't send anybody down from New York, so I'm going to have my own volunteers serving the food for them to be able to do that. And that'll be a pretty effective fundraiser. Matter of fact, if it goes well, we plan on using them year after year at that 4th, because it's always the 4th of July weekend. I do that show. Just this year, it happens to be on 4th of July. So.
You're listening to the Tri-State Business Report on News Talk 103.7 FM. Rick Bibbee is our guest, and it's Interludes with an Impact, Interludes with Impact. And for the website, you go to FFM, Frank Mary, FFM.bio/IWI. These aren't the only shows you're doing here, Rick. You got some other things and other plans for the rest of the season, yeah?
Yep, we're going to be on August the 2nd out in Hancock for the 3rd year of the 2 Mile Music Fest. Now, keep in mind, Hancock, Maryland is only 2 miles wide. And we're using the Kirkwood Park on the kind of the northwest side of the city limits right there, about a mile off the town square. And we'll be set up there with a guy coming in from Nashville, 3rd year in a row, by the name of Adam Calvert. He Modern Male Country Artist of the Year a year before last at the Josie Awards. He plays about 250 to 300 dates a year all across the country. And he's my lead act, comes in with his tour bus and parks it right beside the stage. And
what are the Josie Awards? Never heard of those.
They're the big award for the independent artists, and they're held in Nashville. They started off in Pigeon Forge initially, and they're down to Nashville now.
Okay.
And it's a pretty big deal. And there's a lady with a radio show that she has, and her name is Josie, and so they created it around her. And
good for her.
They're at the Grand Ole Opry the last 2 years.
There's no Patty Awards, so we'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
So the total amount of shows you're doing in the season then is?
I got the 3 in Ringgold and the 1 here, and then I'm going to be doing a couple shows for the Potomac Playmakers. We're going to do two shows for them in the rear of their outdoors.
Are you still in the insurance category? You're still selling insurance?
I still sell insurance, and I've been in it long enough now that my renewal commissions pay all my monthly bills, so I don't have to go out and do that 40-hour weeks.
I was just about to ask, how do you juggle the two, and you don't have to juggle the two?
I'm making enough money coming back in from renewals that takes care of the business for me. I've got an automated system for the one company where people call into a 24-hour day live operator answering service, and then I immediately get a text message followed by an email that alerts me to who called, what they want. So when I call them back, I'm already prepared. For the my Medicare business, I sell that during the October 15th to December 7th window.
Sure.
I have that all as automated as I can with the ability to download things, and I sell that as well as dental and vision, and I have a telemedicine product I sell off of my woodsetter.com website. So all that's as streamlined as I can get it, so I can take and do the things I enjoy to do. They talk about Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, all that basic level stuff, warmth and security and all that stuff, and food, and then you get to the top and you become what they call self-actualizing. And that's really the stage of my life I'm in now, that I'm out there taking advantage of I'm 66 going on 67, so I got an average age of about age 78 for most men, so I'm going to make sure these last years of my life I get to go do the good stuff with I've wanted to do all along, but maybe we're too handcuffed to other projects and other rules and regulations I couldn't do. Well, they're my own rules, my own regulations now, and I do what I need to. So. Well,
you're using every word efficiently. I'll give you that. Rick Bibbee is with us here on the Tri-States News Talk 103.7 FM, and I'll give you the website one more time in just a couple of seconds. Interludes with Impact. these shows are not easy to put on, Rick. I mean, I remember backline and sound reinforcement and power, and then getting people into the house and offering a program. There's a lot of things that go into putting on a show, let alone how many shows you've got here. So, and you're one guy, and I love watching you talk, but are there other people that are helping you with this?
I got one person that comes out and helps me set the stage up.
Okay.
And when putting it away, he knows right where to put it all back at.
Yeah.
The truck is self-contained. I have inverters on the truck that power up most of the show.
What about bad weather? What happens? What do you do then?
Well, for bad weather, I've only in the shows out in Ringgold, I've only had 2 times that we lost 15 minutes of a show.
Yeah.
When the weather came through, we sit in a part of the world. I don't know if it's that crack in the mountain out there that diverts the weather around us, but I've seen it rain like the Dickens in Waynesboro and not touch us in Ringgold at all.
Take it.
So, but what I've also done on the stage, I have I call it my fishbowl. I have a clear tarp that I can pull down and let that roll down over the front of the stage, and I can keep the stage dry. And I have tarps to put on the side if it's blowing in from the side, so I can make that stage pretty secure.
Parking's for free?
Parking's free.
Okay.
And on the days I think there might be bad weather, I got a 20-foot tent I carry with me on the truck too, that we go out and pop that up and stake that into the ground so the wind don't blow it away, and people can huddle underneath there if they need to. When I'm out in Hancock, they have a 450-seat pavilion in a Kirkwood Park, and that's the reason I've been using that park over the years, is because even if it does rain, I can pull everybody back underneath that 450-seat pavilion and pretty much protect everything.
What kind of money are you looking to raise for some of these charities and some of the folks that made, as you said, I like that too, that model is, maybe they're not a charity, but they've got something else going that they need some help with.
Well, for the 3 shows in Ringgold, I'm matching $800, or whatever we raise, up to $800 through my woodsetter.com platform. So whatever we raise, I'm personally matching that up to $800 each time. For the show in Hancock, what we'll be doing out there is splitting all the profits on that show to help make sure that we, again, cover all the cost. For the national tour bus guy and all the radio advertising, and I'm using more radio this year than I've ever done.
Smart move. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, we're looking to raise, we're hoping to raise a couple $1,000s for at time to time between sponsors and getting all the bills paid. But ultimately, the goal here is to hand checks out and help people out.
That's correct. Yeah, it's to do good, and again, that 1 + 1 = 3 philosophy. That's what it's all about for me. It's being able to help people. If I help you win, I win too. That's what it's all about for me. And there's a lot of people that all the time looking at me going, well, I don't get it. Why are you doing fundraisers for me? Or what's the catch? What's the and I'm like, look, there's no catch. I'm not going to make you buy, any insurance products from me, nothing like that. I'm just going to say simply, here's what I do, here's my background, and because of that background, I'm not afraid to ask for sponsors. And by sponsorship, I settled on a $250 range, because if I had a lot of $100 sponsors or $50 sponsors, pretty soon you dilute that that banner trying to get everything down. It's hard to be able to see the name and understand the name. So.
Very good. All right, let's take a quick look at this website and spend a little more time than a quick second on it. ffm.bio /IWI. So frankmary.bio/IWI for Rick Bibbee and Interludes with Impact. I'll give you the site one more time. ffm.bio/IWI. Listen, you keep us posted on your progress. I'm very interested to hear how the crowds are, and if somebody gives you a jingle about sponsorship, we'd love to know how you're progressing.
That'd be wonderful.
Appreciate your visit with us here today. It's the Tri-States News. If you're just jumping into this interview going, okay, what is this all about? I hear concerts, I hear food, I hear some charitable components to it. This is easy to get involved with this. You can visit our website, and that's newstalk1037fm.com, and click on interviews. We'll have this visit with Rick posted for you. Simple to do, newstalk1037fm.com. Click on interviews. Our thanks to the Greater Waynesboro Chamber of Commerce. Newstalk 1037 FM, our Tri-State Business Report continues next.